You are betting your life every single day. And when I say that, I'm not saying in terms of money. I'm saying that you're betting with your time, attention, and your future. You have to realize that every choice you make is a bet. And in life, many people lose not because they choose something wrong, but because they were never awake enough or never realized they were choosing. Let's get to the first life. All decisions are made. Not in the casino sense, in life sense. A bet is simply a choice made under uncertainty where things you value is at risk because you believe, and believe is a very key important point here. I will talk about it later. First, let's just focus on this. Because you believe one outcome is more likely than other. And that's it. And that is a bet. And that's what you also do while taking a decision. How or why a decision is a bet. Let me explain. First of all, a technical definition of bet is here. Bet, a choice made by thinking about what will probably happen. To lose something when you try to do or achieve something. And to make decisions that are based on the belief that something will happen or is true. This is a technical definition of bet. I'm just including this because some of you might able to draw some more conclusion from it, but already the simpler version is there, which I already explained. Next, why decision is a bet. Whenever you decide something, you are not choosing one future. You are choosing one future and rejecting all the others. And that rejection matters. And that is opportunity cost of choosing one future. Because there is always opportunity cost in choosing one path over another. Let's say, for example, you choose to go gym 6 times a week instead of 4 times a week, 7 times a week, or 2 times a week. And now you're rejecting all those different future by choosing 6 times a week. And you have to take that decision very carefully and by thinking and considering all the other factors, because this decision will decide your future. Okay, 6 times a week, good for body and for recovery both. So that is why it's most optimal for hypertrophy. And you have rejected all these other future realities. Every other version of your life that could have existed, you have rejected those by choosing one. That is option A. And you know what? Not placing as a bet is itself a bet. Doing nothing is still choosing a future. And that is why the choice always costs you something. You have to consider this fact that if you stay there, you stay the same, and that is also a choice. And that is also going to lead you to a future. So you have to consider this fact that not choosing a bet is itself a bet. What you are really betting with? And that's a very interesting question. Most people think that betting are only about money or some physical substance, some car, house, or something. But when I talk about decision as a bet, we are taking decision and we're betting with our time, attention, energy, reputation, health, peace of mind, etc. Money is just the easiest one to notice. That's why. but I'm talking about decision making. So these are the factors which we are betting on. You have to consider these factors. Why belief matter more than outcome? Belief is a very different concept, and a very important concept. The hidden part, belief is a hidden part that controls quietly everything. Why? Why belief is a hidden part? Because the truth is, we do not bet on reality. We don't see the fact as human beings. We see what it seems to be true to us. We bet, we bet on our belief about reality. It might be a bit complex to understand this, but it's not that much difficult to get it. We bet based on our belief about reality. We bet on our belief about reality. Your decision quite depends upon what you believe will happen. One, how likely you think the outcome is. Two, what you think you are giving up. Three, think, likely, believe are the key points here. And this is where the human struggles. Because belief formation is flawed or is not that odd. How beliefs are actually formed. We are likely to think that belief actually formed by this process. First, we hear something, then we analyze it, we evaluate it, and think whether it's true or not. Then we decide about true or not, or false. But that's just how we think. That's not how actually a belief is formed. We actually form abstract belief this way. We hear something, we believe it's true, and maybe question it later. So this is how actually things happen. And this is how we think happen. Belief comes first, verification comes later. If ever you doubt it or someone asks about it, that's why most people hold strong beliefs. They have strong beliefs with a weak evidence. They don't know where that beliefs come from. They don't know why they believe this. But they have a strong opinion. And when a belief is formed, it becomes protected. How? Your belief is what can shape your reality. Why belief become stubborn? Once a belief exists, it changes how we process new information. It starts filtering the reality. I think you already know that we tend to see what we already believe. If we are always thinking about positive things, we look positivity in everything. But if we think negative, then we will try to see negativity in everything. And that's how things goes. So we notice evidence what supports it, ignore the evidence that contradict, reinterrupt the fact to fit the belief. And this is why. And this is how we protect our belief. So the belief is a very crucial thing in making our decisions, because we make decisions based on what we actually believe about reality. This is called motivated reasoning. It's not about the truth anymore. It's about protecting our identity and self-image. Once you form the belief, it's not about truth. It's about protecting our identity and self-image. We think someone has harmed us or try to attack us when we see the things that contradict our belief. That's why changing your mind feels painful. It feels like admitting you were wrong about yourself. That's why. That's why you have to choose and believe and have a belief that is good enough to believe in, because you are going to make decision based upon how you believe about reality. Why being smart doesn't fix it. This is one of the most important insight in the text. It's in the text here. Being intelligent does not make you less biased. Why? In many cases, not all but many, it makes you better at defending bad beliefs. For example, a smart person or a brilliant person have a bad belief. He's less likely to find it biased. He does not make you less biased. The intelligent doesn't make them less biased, because smart people rationalize better than us, argue better. That's why the smart people tend to defend their belief better than normal people. And this is why the situation gets sometimes worse, because they don't see the flaw in their own selves, because they were defending their belief, and they are better at defending their belief than an average person. So intelligence often strengthen the belief instead of correcting them. Next slide. And now here is a very powerful concept. It's called concept wanna bet. Wanna bet concept. It's very powerful. For example, you have a belief about a movie that this movie is very good. It's going to win an Oscar. But then your friend suddenly says wanna bet, and everything changes. Huh? You start doubting yourself whether this movie is good enough, or am I just obsessed with this movie? And why do I think this is a good movie? And more question pops up like this. So this wannabe concept, when someone says wanna bet, something changes. Suddenly, uncertainty becomes visible. Confidence is tested, beliefs are forced into the open. That question pushes us into the step we skip, venting our belief. Primary objective of wanna bet concept is that you should analyze your belief so that you can make better decision. Let's go forward. It forces question like, how sure am I really? Where did this belief come from? What am I missing? What if I'm wrong? These are the questions that pops up in your head or mind when someone says, wanna bet? You do not need to be an actual wager. You just need to have a mindset of one. You don't have to be think or have a friend who's always say wanna bet, wanna bet. No. You just have to have this lens, a cognitive framework that will allow you to analyze your belief before believing it's 100% true. The next, this is an important definition I want you to remember and acknowledge. The more we recognize that we are betting on our belief with our happiness, attention, health, money, time, or some limited resources, the more we are likely to temper our statement, getting close to the truth as we acknowledge the risk inherent in what we believe. Keep this in your mind. The next concept is the confidence scale. It's very simple. We just have to rate your belief on a scale to 0 to 10. 0 means certainly false, 100% false, and 10 means 100% true. A 6 means 60% sure, and 9 means 90% sure. This exposes the probabilistic nature of the belief. Almost nothing is 0% or 100% false or true. Nothing is totally white or black. I'm talking about your beliefs right now. So when you express uncertainty and when you give a scale and you give a number to a particular belief, a magic happens. You are not trying to defend that belief anymore. Let me tell you my own experience. I have a belief that the world is binary. You're either a winner, or a loser. I used to believe that. But when I use the wanna bet concept, I was thinking, and it exposes the uncertainty of my belief. So I made a research and I got the conclusion that this is not actually that true. This belief is not 100% true. The world is not binary. Only the outcome are binary. Outcome or results are binary. The decision, the paths are not binary. So I give this belief a 4 out of 10. That means 40% sure. And this is one of my belief that I have changed by making this video. And this is totally insane because I was believing in this belief from the last 3 or 4 years. But now, because of wanna-bet concept, I was able to recognize that it is not true. And from the confidence scale, I give it a number and find out where it lacks. It's a concept true for results and outcomes, but it doesn't fit when we are making decisions because not every decision on every path is same. Someone can become rich by football, someone can become rich by business. The paths are totally different. There is no totally 100% right path, 100% wrong path. Only the results are 100% binary. That is rich or poor. Path decisions are not binary. This is one of the beliefs that I had changed while I was learning about these concepts. So when you express uncertainty, updating your belief becomes easier. Like I've said, I was able to update the belief when I give it a number. Ego stays out of the way. Ego was not in my way. I was not trying to protect my belief. Motivated reasoning weakens, and you're not rationalizing your belief or trying to fit in the new information that you get based on your belief. And you can update from going 58% to 46%. Earlier it was like was 100% sure about it, 10 on 10, but now it's 40. Major change. So this confidence scales can go, and going from right to wrong doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah, that is also true. This keeps you an open-minded and objective person. Next. Quick summary. I know I have talked so much and I have said so much information that some of you are a bit confused. These are the quick summary that I want to give. All decisions are based on beliefs. First of all, you are already clear that all decisions are based on the belief, and that belief is very important because better belief equals to better bets and better decisions, and better decision or better bets equals to better outcome over time. So this part is clear, and now we have the wanna-bet concept. In simple words, wanna-bet concept can be say like it just exposes uncertainty of your belief. It just exposes uncertainty of your belief, of how unsure or sure you actually are about your own belief, which will help you to make better decisions. And the last is the confidence scale. It exposes how sure you really are. So you can act to correct your belief, not to defend it, and make better decisions. Next slide. Why this changes decision making? It's okay, you have already learned about a lot of things, and you should know why this is going to make your decisions better. Because once you start thinking this way, your goal changes. You stop trying to prove you are right. You start trying to get closer to the truth. And the new information, which was earlier a threat, is no longer feels like a threat now. And this is useful because instead of defending a belief, you adjust it. Instead of committing blindly, you size your bets. That's why, that's how good decision compounds over time. And every decision commits you to a future version of yourself. There is no neutral choice, there is no sane default. Doing nothing is still a decision with a cost. In the end, the real question or the real difference is this: are you choosing consciously or letting old belief choose for you? Ask yourself this, because the bet will be placed either way, and the outcome shows up whether you are planned for it or not. In the end, I want you to remember that every choice you make is a bet, and it is going to be placed either way. So you have to choose carefully. Peace.